Hi, I'm Carla. I'm Student Experience Tutor at MMU Cheshire.
I'm Sue Cobb. I'm a Student Experience Tutor at Cheshire Campus.
As Student Experience Tutors, we are involved in the planning and delivery of all sorts of academic workshops and sessions. The objective is that these sessions will not only be rich in content, but also fun and engaging for our students. Our aim is that students should not be passive receivers of information, but rather active and interactive learners. We are very interested in the development of creative ways of teaching academic skills that at the same time will trigger creativity and creative ways of learning. An example of our approach to teaching and learning is our workshop on the mysterious murder mystery. This was a session that aimed to develop the critical thinking skills that are used in writing an essay.
How we met the aims of the session were really to engage students fully and get them to use the skills that we'd explained to them to develop a case against a suspect. So they were asked to gather evidence and clues, to check the validity of that evidence, to question it and to synthesise it into a case against someone, but also to check their arguments and to make sure that they had used those arguments in the most appropriate way in order to present a thorough case. The case was then presented to the rest of the group so that the students had to answer any questions that were outstanding, as the rest of the group acted as defence lawyers and queried anything that didn't quite work. So students not only had to question their own case when they were building it, but also had to stand there and think on their feet.
So we actually turned the classroom into a playing learning environment. We had different areas in the classroom with things on the floor, for example, a dead body on the floor, cards with possible weapons, cards with images of possible suspects.
The images of the weapons and the evidence were all around. So the students actually physically had to get up and go and select images, and the image cards were part of their evidence because they were using them to build a story. We wanted them to build a story of what had happened coming up to the murder, during the murder and after the murder. They could make up evidence, so for example, fingerprinting or whatever, to supplement the images they'd got. Part of the success of this session was the fact that it was done in a creative way. The students really enjoyed the activity. They looked at it from a different point of view, and that was part of why we wanted to use something other than a PowerPoint. It had to be something interactive, but it also had to be fun and it had to be different in order to engage the students and to really get them involved. The idea of using something creatively, so we used images to get them to talk about and build a story, was quite a new thing, and the students could have taken it very badly and thought it was rubbish, but actually they got so involved and they really enjoyed it, and a lot of our interviews with them afterwards said that they thoroughly enjoyed the experience and found it really engaging and interesting, and the creative side of that made it much more effective, I think. I think if we just made an interesting PowerPoint, it wouldn't have been the same. A few activities wouldn't have been the same. This was actually a combination of storytelling and role play, and it worked really well.